I'm a character in a video game. I mean, let that sink in. I mean, that is just madness, mate. I mean, I've been playing games obviously for a long time, but that's all you expect to be involved with games, is just, you know, being the player or the user or the consumer. But it's all changed. I'm now in a video game, which is the Assetto Corsa Competizione sim/game. As of the recent update that's put all the 2019 cars and drivers into the game. So not only is the car in there, which is cool enough on its own, that I'm in there as well as, you know, a character. I mean, if you asked me that a year ago, I would have, you know, not believed you. So let's look into it and explore myself in a game. Actually, before we do that, I do want to say, you know, it's been a little while since I put a new video up. I mean, I put the Vettel video up, but that was up before it got taken down. Had to re-upload it. But this is a fresh video. Just want to say thank you for coming back. It's been a little while. Had a little break. Feel refreshed. Feeling good for a hard-working rest of 2020. Hope you're all safe. And yeah, it's weird times, but hopefully we're all doing all right. So if you are on the main menu of Assetto Corsa Competizione, what you want to do is go into single player, and in that mode you'll be able to see what race you want to do, what track, and what driver and car. So let's look at the driver and car, and you can see that's the car. If you haven't been on my channel before, that is the car I'm driving this year in GT3 once we get racing again. And then you've got me and my teammate Chris Bunkum down below at the moment, with a pretty saucy picture of myself, I must say. It's amazing what Photoshop can do for any individual, really. And I mean, Chris is looking dashing as well, of course. But anyway, let's get serious for a minute, for God's sake. Looking at the car, it looks bang on the money. I mean, there's no two ways about it. It looks exactly how it would in real life. Obviously, all laser scanned. They spent a lot of time and effort, ACC, on this, so the livery's, you know, exactly identical to how it is in real life as well, unless there's a few sponsor changes later on in the year. But that is the Jensen Team Rocket RGN McLaren, and we're having a bit of fun there with the doors. You get all these different camera angles, which is, I didn't really realise until I made this video. So I was, as you say, I got a bit carried away. I was a bit intrigued with the freedom you could do or use with these camera angles. The cockpit, you know, I'm probably a qualified person to say that is exactly how it is. It's weird, even to where, you know, the team could put the ECU and all these other electrical units on the passenger seat where that would be. They could put them anywhere, but the game has got it exactly the same as our team has it. So it probably is a coincidence, but I just find it amazing. And yeah, it's weird. It does take me back to Paul Ricard, obviously the only time I drove the car. You know, the car is exactly the same. So if you do want to drive in that car, you can drive it online, but you can't drive as me online, obviously, because you drive as yourself. But if you're going to do single player, of course, you know, why not pick me? If you're watching this video, then it only makes sense, really, doesn't it? So what we're going to do is going to do a little 5-minute race, 2 o'clock, 5 minutes long, and we're going to put the AI on 100 skill, which is the maximum you can do, and 100 aggressiveness as well. So that'll be interesting to see how they react to that. But it's going to be a mixed grid, every single car in the championship. There's going to be 35 cars on the grid. Let's give it a go. To record something like this does reduce the quality of it for me, but when I'm not recording, I do genuinely think it's a good tool to use for real life training. So later in the season I will be using it. So we see the green lights went, and we sent it basically up the inside of pretty much everyone in the midfield. So I can't exactly recall how many positions I got there, but a fair few. And it's the full GP layout at Silverstone, so it's quite a long lap, about 2 minutes long. We'll send it up the inside going into Beckett's, and then going into Chapel. I think we get a decent exit behind this Aston. We line up a move going down into Stowe. So yeah, it's a proper experience. You know, I know there's probably better VR headsets out there, but they're getting more money, and it's not something I use that often, so I can't really justify it. So up the inside of the Aston, lovely jubbly, into, I think that looks like about 8th place. So we started 20th, we're 8th now, and it's a 5-minute race. So, you know, I'm having fun. I've not sweated at all for this. So up the inside of the Ferrari, I think, see, the aggressiveness of the AI kicks in, and the Ferrari holds position. I think if we left it a bit lower, the aggressiveness, then I think we probably would have got that position outright. But we're up the inside of the Ferrari going into turn 1 of what would be the F1 circuit. So for some reason on ACC, the start line is at the old start-finish straight, which I found weird to start with, but I suppose it doesn't really matter. Up the inside, going into this section. I don't know the name of the right-hander, but I know this left-hander's called the loop, and we're now 7th behind a Merc. So that's the interesting thing. I've noticed it in the SRO eSports series as well, is every week there seems to be a different car that's OP. One, because the track's different and tracks suit different cars, and two, for example, when McLaren won at Silverstone, they got ballast put on for round 2, so they're not going to be the quick ones anymore. Very fair way of doing it. Obviously, you know, like F1 2019, if you had a base model with different skins over the top of it, then everyone's in the same boat. I think that probably is a better way of going about it, but it does make it realistic in the sense that different cars suit different corners and there's different characteristics to each car, so that's how they want to do it, and that's fair play, I suppose. We get a bit of understeer in turn 1 there. I think probably from a bit of dirty air. It's so hard to actually adjust to driving on the VR, because you look into a corner completely different as you were looking into a screen, because the screen is obviously, you know, flat 2D. You're kind of, it's guessing, but you get used to it after a while. When you go to VR, where you're actually doing it as you would in a real car, like looking down at the apex, it takes a bit of getting used to. I didn't put much practice in for this, so you might see a few sloppy moments. But going up into Stowe, up the inside of the Merc, see you later, mate. And that is, what, P6? P6, P7? Yes, P6, isn't it? God, I can't even count today. Anyway, we are now catching the Audi. I mean, the AI, considering this is the hardest difficulty, I put no practice in. I'm not running a setup. I was surprised at how kind of slow they were. You know, the SRO guys in the eSports Championship would absolutely thrash these guys. And, you know, if I put the hours in like they did and whatever, it wouldn't be a contest. So maybe that's something ACC could look into, is up in the difficulty of the hardest AI difficulty, because it is a bit easy. And it's more to do with, like, in the braking zones, they're really conservative. The start, I mean, pretty much any game, the AI are always very cautious at the start. So yeah, it's just a thought. But we're going into the final lap after this section now. I do love this section in the GT car for some reason. It gives me a lot of satisfaction. It's just a normal section in an F1 car, but for some reason in the GT car I just like the feel of it. I think we did put the traction control down to 1, so we're running the aggressive preset with traction at 1, and I think I adjusted the ABS to 2 if I'm not mistaken. So going into the final lap, you can see it is, you know, it's meant to be me, but, you know, it's just a standard character in the car. Let's not, you know, beat around the bush here, but it'd be cool down the line if they could get my helmet into the game. So my helmet, just so you all know, is painted. It's ready to show you, and in fact that's what my next video is going to be, is my helmet. So I'm going to talk you through it. I'm going to show you the design, compare it to my old one. Yeah, it looks mad. So if they could incorporate that into the game, I've seen they've done that with a few drivers, that would be cool. So ACC, if you're watching, you know my email. But nah, seriously, it's already amazing that they've got the liveries so quick into the game. It takes time for people to develop these liveries and stuff, especially when it's this accurate. So mega job by ACC to get all of the liveries into the game. And to do them so quickly and accurately is amazing. So they obviously put in a lot of work over there. But going into the final lap, we're behind this Audi. We need to get this Audi, just because the top 5 sounds better than the top 6. And we got the inside there of turn 1 of the new circuit, and it costs us. I don't know why I did it. I thought I was closer than I actually was. And you know, we hit the curb on the apex there. Those sausage curbs are so aggressive, like they're huge, and if you hit them, especially in a GT car, like with an F1 car you might be able to ride it a bit better, but this GT car, it just, yeah, completely spits you off. So we kind of blow it from that, really. There's no real overtaking opportunity before the end of the lap, so we get really close into Luffield, or sorry, Brooklands, and then into Luffield. I think we try and force an error on the Audi, but yeah, I think we do make a slight bit of contact there, run him a bit wide, but he gets a good exit, and that's it. Game over. We're 6th. So, but you can see the VR in this game is good. I do think the original Assetto Corsa, for whatever reason, is smoother and a little bit better. Maybe it's more developed, or maybe it's easier to run on my PC. I don't know, but there's still, you know, it's just a bit juddery, a bit kind of pixelated. I have to turn the graphics down for ACC's VR. It's still good, but you know, AC is a little bit better. But I hope you enjoy the video. You know, I'm a character in a video game. Never thought I'd say that. And just another one of these things in this amazing journey that esports has taken me on. But yeah, standard stuff, you know. Like the video if you liked it. Comment what you want to say. I appreciate all the nice messages I got when I said I'm going on a break. Really did help me get over whatever the hell was going on in my head. But yeah, I'm all good now. I just want to get out there and race in events and esports and race in real life. Like, I just feel like I've been a caged animal all year. So I'm sure everyone else is frustrated with the lockdown. We have to make the most of it. So just persist, be resilient, and yeah, my next video will be the helmet design reveal. Hopefully you're looking forward to it. If you are, sub to the channel. I do appreciate it, as always. But I guess until that video, I'll see you soon.